Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next.
Between late 2024 and early 2026, something unusual began to happen in the Chinese entertainment industry. There was no official announcement, no emergency press conference, and no trending headline that explained it clearly. Yet insiders felt it almost immediately. For male idols born after 1995, the air suddenly changed. Opportunities stopped arriving evenly. Resources became selective. Visibility turned unstable. Some faces appeared everywhere overnight, while others quietly faded out of public sight. What looked like normal competition at first gradually revealed itself as something far more serious: a full-scale reshuffling. 3 young male idols rose decisively. 2 slipped out of the center almost without resistance. And one figure experienced a rise and fall curve so unexpected that it forced the entire industry to rethink its assumptions. This was not about popularity charts or fan enthusiasm alone. It was about positioning, timing, and the unspoken rules that decide who remains on the board and who is gently removed. The most unsettling part was this. One of the strongest names in this reshuffle had barely appeared in any new dramas for more than a year, yet his position remained secure. That contradiction alone was enough to pull everyone in because it challenged what audiences thought they understood about success. And once you notice that contradiction, it becomes impossible to look away. For those watching closely, the reshuffle did not begin with a single event. It unfolded quietly through patterns. Invitations changed. Endorsements shifted tone. Media coverage became selective rather than generous. In the past, being young, popular, and visually striking was often enough to guarantee steady exposure. By 2025, that formula stopped working. The Post-95 generation was no longer being evaluated as a group. Each individual was being assessed separately, with sharper criteria and far less patience. Some actors seemed to align perfectly with this new rhythm. Their projects landed at the right moment, their public images remained steady, and their growth felt controlled rather than rushed. When they stepped forward, the industry responded with confidence. Their rise looked smooth, but it was built on careful accumulation. Viewers could trace a clear line from one solid performance to the next. Even when they were not constantly visible, their absence felt intentional rather than worrying. This kind of rise was quiet, but it was firm, and once it happened, it was difficult to reverse. Others survived the reshuffle not by accelerating, but by refusing to panic. These were the figures who never truly exploded in a single moment, yet never collapsed either. Their careers moved at a measured pace. They took time between projects, trained intensively, and treated each role as a long-term investment rather than a quick headline. In a market obsessed with speed, their restraint appeared almost old-fashioned. Yet when the reshuffle intensified, they remained standing. While faster-moving peers lost balance, these individuals retained credibility. Their value was not tied to constant visibility, but to trust. Directors trusted them. Brands trusted them. Audiences trusted that when they appeared, the work would be reliable. Stability, once considered dull, quietly became a competitive advantage. Then came the falls. Not dramatic implosions, but gradual losses of ground. Some idols had once enjoyed immense attention, constant endorsements, and an almost effortless presence in public conversation. Yet when pressure arrived, there was little beneath the surface to hold everything together. Image had been prioritized over depth. Momentum had been mistaken for foundation. When circumstances shifted, the support structures proved fragile. Work gaps became noticeable. New projects failed to generate the same response. Media interest cooled. None of this happened overnight, which made it more unsettling. From the outside, everything looked calm, but inside the system, these names were quietly losing priority. By the time audiences noticed, the industry had already moved on. Perhaps the most uncomfortable position of all belonged to those who did not fall, but did not rise either. They remained visible enough to be remembered, yet not impactful enough to redefine themselves. Attempts at transformation appeared sincere but incomplete. New genres were tested, new images explored, yet no single role managed to break through decisively. This in-between state proved dangerous. In an industry that rewards clarity, uncertainty becomes a liability. While these actors hesitated, younger faces arrived with sharper positioning and stronger narratives. The middle ground, once considered safe, turned out to be the most unstable place to stand. And then, there was the anomaly. A figure who stepped away from traditional acting schedules for an extended period, focusing instead on pursuits outside the usual entertainment framework. No rush to return. No visible anxiety about absence. While speculations circulated, his presence never truly diminished. Fashion partnerships deepened. Public perception matured. His identity expanded beyond a single profession. When others questioned how long a star could survive without new dramas, his case quietly answered that question. He demonstrated that in a saturated market, differentiation could matter more than frequency. By redefining what success looked like, he avoided direct competition altogether. What makes this reshuffle resonate so strongly is that it mirrors a broader reality. It is not simply a story about celebrities, but about time, choice, and consequence. Youth is no longer a guarantee. Popularity is no longer protection. The market does not punish mistakes harshly, but it does not wait either. Those who respected their craft, understood their limits, and planned beyond immediate applause found ways to remain relevant. Those who relied solely on momentum discovered how quickly it can fade. The reshuffle continues quietly, without ceremony, reshaping careers one decision at a time. And for those still watching from the sidelines, it serves as a reminder that in this industry, staying visible is not enough. One must remain necessary. If you have stayed with this story until now, thank you for sharing this moment of reflection with us. Stories like this are not just about the stars we see on screen, but about the choices made behind the scenes, often unseen, yet deeply consequential. If you enjoy thoughtful insights into the real dynamics shaping the entertainment world, we invite you to subscribe to Star Watch now. Your support allows us to continue bringing you stories that look beyond the surface and explore what truly drives success and change. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to having you with us again as the story continues.